Do blood angels hunt humans for blood?
I think the key there is that, yes, certain blood angel chapters hunt humans for their blood because there is that desire to drink blood, the red thirst, that's what that is. At the same time, the blood angels have that kind of composure because they probably see it not as like a morally wrong thing to kill humans. It's not because of adoration, moral, none of that shit. It's all because like it's a curse and it's imprinted by their Primarch to be like, no, bad dog, don't do that.
Yeah, so much so that during the 30K era, this had to be kept a secret. Sanguinius did not want this gene seed deficiency of the red thirst to be known because it could mean that the Emperor was going to get rid of their chapter, just like the Emperor got rid of the 2nd and the 11th. What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here with
Gersh1!
And once again, we're back at it answering your questions in another episode of For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. Also, Blessed Sanguinala. It is the start of December. Well, by the time this video is up, it's already going to be December. And we're celebrating Sanguinius and his sacrifice for the Imperium. So this entire month, we're going to focus on Sanguinius, Blood Angels, and just Space Marines in general. So if you have any questions on Space Marines, Blood Angels, let us know in the comment section below, which is why you are here. And then also, one last little comment. Don't forget that the Greater Wog videos, the Q&A videos, are going to be outlined on your feed with a green border. So if you see a thumbnail with a green border, it's one of the Greater Wogs. But welcome back. And yeah, let's answer questions.
Ben903, his question is, do blood angels hunt humans for blood?
I was going to say yes and no, right?
Yeah, so the thing about blood angels is that a lot of people compare them to vampires, and that's because of their gene seed deficiency known as the red thirst. When the blood angels go into this savage state where their senses are heightened and they lose control of who they are, and they're out for blood, literally. So yes, they could hunt humans for blood because they're just so bound by this.
Don't know what that was. Okay, we're being visited by the spirit of Sanguinius.
Yeah, we're talking bad about them. We're gonna get haunted. It's like the ghost of what, future past?
Yeah.
Future past? What does that mean? But anyway, yeah, so this gene seed deficiency affects each and every member of the blood angels.
Yeah, so, and I think the key there is that, yes, certain blood angel chapters hunt humans for their blood because there is that desire to drink blood, the red thirst, that's what that is. But not all of them. Some of them do it in a very ritualistic way. The cool thing about the lore of the blood angels is that when you start breaking it down to the successor chapters, there's certain successor chapters that can control their thirst and do go out into hive cities and hunt at night. No power armor, just completely butt-ass naked, sucking the blood of these humans.
Which hive cities in specific?
Not the ones that we go to. The cool thing about us celebrating Sanguinala right now, and you guys have probably heard me talk about this in the shorts, is that in some planets, Sanguinala is a celebration where the blood angels get to go out into these hive cities and actually abduct humans for their blood, drain them of their blood, and the human population sees that as like an awesome thing. They're like, oh, cool.
To be chosen is an honor.
Little do they know they're just being killed by blood angels who have the red thirst. Mm-hmm. At the same time, the blood angels have that kind of composure because they probably see it not as like a morally wrong thing to kill humans. Blood angels don't suck the blood of humans because of the fact that like it's a curse, it's an animalistic thing, and Sanguinius imprinted this onto them that like, you guys are flawed, this is not something you can do. Because another thing about Space Marines is that they don't really care about humanity, and I don't think, or not humanity, but they don't really care about an individual human being. They see him as cannon fodder, they see him as like less than. So for a blood angel to stop himself from killing a human and draining of his blood, it's not because of adoration, moral, none of that shit. It's all because like it's a curse and it's imprinted by their Primarch to be like, no, bad dog, don't do that.
Yeah, so much so that during the 30K era, this had to be kept a secret. Sanguinius did not want this gene seed deficiency of the red thirst to be known because it could mean that the Emperor was going to get rid of their chapter, just like the Emperor got rid of the 2nd and the 11th. So because of that, the only other Primarch that knew about the Red Thirst was Horus, because that's the only person that Sanguinius can find it in, his BFF Horus.
Yeah, and as you learn more about the Blood Angels, if you're a Blood Angels player, you probably find out that in the beginning, Sanguinius actually paired a lot of his units with Luna Wolves at that time, right? So that they can fight together. And even with that, they still hid their thirst for blood and stuff like that.
Yeah, because as like regal and perfect that they seem on the outside, they have this animalistic, taint inside of them, kind of showing the duality of the Space Marine.
Yeah. Also, I know we're going to get the question, are they technically space vampires? And the answer is not really, no.
No, they're not, there are vampiric entities in 40K, but the Space Marines are kind of I'd say they're all the way on one side. They barely count as being considered vampires.
And I also like the concept of the red thirst and the desire to suck blood by the Blood Angels as more of an addiction thing and not so much like a monster vampire thing. Because, walking out in public, they're fine. They have their regular, what's it called when somebody's really attractive and people are drawn to them?
Charisma, kind of?
Yeah, they have charisma, natural magnetism.
They got that aura, that riz.
That riz, yeah. And yes, the Rizzler would be a Blood Angels, obviously. So they're not monsters in that sense. They're just, yeah.
I was going to say, think of the Space Wolves where they have Wolfen. Those are legit werewolf Space Marines. But I'd say the Blood Angels don't have vampire Space Marines in that sense.
Yeah.
If anything, I would say that the Black Rage, another of their gene seed deficiencies that happened after the death of Sanguinius, is more akin to making them vampiric because they're just blood crazy and they're thrown into believing that they themselves are Sanguinius and they're fighting against Horus. So it's this whole PTSD type thing, and overall their gene seed is just effed up. They got a lot of negatives going for them.
Yeah, like everything, there's daddy issues with the Space Wolves or not Space Wolves, sorry.
Blood Angels.
Yeah, Blood Angels. I had actually thought about Space Wolves right now because you mentioned how the Black Rage is vampiric, but at the same time it's kind of like a werewolf or like a Jekyll and Hyde type thing.
Yeah.
So a lot of those themes within a lot of these chapters, and we'll get to the Space Wolves eventually. But that's the answer.
Yeah, long and hopefully that made sense to you, but it made sense to us.
Yes. Next question comes from Bloodwork. I see you've got some Wrath and Glory books back there. Played it yet? We sure do. It's still back there next to the candles. Hopefully the book doesn't burn. But it won't matter if it burns because, no, we don't play.
Yeah.
So originally I bought that book because we were running a Dungeons & Dragons themed campaign and I wanted to get ideas. And I was like, fuck it, I'll just buy this book and see if we'll just play this, what's it called? This
RPG?
Yeah. It's stupid. It's you're centered around a game where models are available for you, and your game doesn't make you create models. It's stupid.
Yeah, Wrath and Glory is all theater of the mind. Stupid. It's you have kits from GW that you can play. You've got terrain from GW that you can use. Why not put that to use? And they're like, nah, we're doing our own thing. Yeah. All right.
And it was kind of complicated too. I've seen people play it online. I watched a couple of YouTube walkthroughs for the first one. Mm-hmm. Exploring the setting is awesome. I think I saw the one that's in this book. If you follow that prompt, you end up at what are they called? Crypt worlds? The worlds that are basically just mausoleums. Tomb worlds. Yeah. Well, not a tomb world, not a Necron tomb world.
But I get you. Yeah.
So it's a giant mausoleum, and you really get to explore the grim darkness of 40K. So it's cool for that, but it's just not. I think I like D&D rules better.
Yeah, we were already familiar with D&D. Just throw in the 40K flavor on top, and make it easier on everybody. And
our DM did a really good job because the first one to DM was
Docile Creature.
Docile Creature, yeah. And he did a good job. So much so that I want to play again, but nobody wants to DM.
We all want to be players.
Next question.
This one is by I lost it. Ben Holloway, 6599. How powerful are the Primarchs against regular Space Marines, tanks, etc.? What could stop them outside of another Primarch?
A regular Primarch would body the shit out of a Space Marine, no problem.
Yeah. Think of it where like Space Marines are children compared to Primarchs being adults.
Yeah.
Like obviously if you have enough Space Marines you could overwhelm them, but even then like you saw what they could do during the Horus Heresy. Primarchs were just obliterating entire companies of Space Marines to the point where in the 30K novels you have Magnus the Red taking on a blast from, was it a
Baneblade?
A Baneblade, yeah.
Yeah.
One of the more super heavy, powerful tanks in the Imperium. And he takes that full on, and all he does is get a little bit of damage. And what does he do in return? Crumple it up into a little ball with his psychokinetic powers.
Heck yeah. It was a really badass book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Space Marines are nothing compared to Primarchs or anything like that, yeah.
Yeah, which is interesting because obviously for the narrative, GW is pushing Gilliman versus Abaddon. I mean, they were on the cover of the 8th edition rulebook.
Yeah.
And when you think about it, yes, Abaddon is empowered by the 4 Chaos Gods somewhat, kind of. And he's just a regular Space Marine, but he's getting like pushed to be like the one to fight against Gilliman. Although it never happened.
No.
But like, yeah, it's just weird.
I do feel that it was just a gimmick thing, though. And I think Games Workshop kind of understands that frustration that a lot of war gamers have, especially lore enthusiasts. And that's why I think they threw fucking Magnus and they threw Mortarion at Gilliman, because that just makes more sense.
Yeah.
Abaddon will probably come back. Have you ever met a player that's like, fuck yeah, Abaddon?
No.
Yeah.
If anything, the memes are hurting him because he used to be a metal model where his arms would always fall off. So they called him Abaddon the Armless, the Harmless. His 13 Black Crusades that apparently never did anything. So that was like another negative on him. But then it turns out each one of those Black Crusades, his secret agenda got achieved.
What would you say has to be done for like Abaddon to be cool?
I think him being able to breach Terra and like take the Emperor's corpse would be like a huge W on him.
So like a giant monumental thing that would really harm humanity.
Oh yeah.
Because I think from an aesthetic perspective, the old school like heavy metal grunge, like just Blanchitsu stuff, if they would bring that back through Abaddon, if that was his aesthetic, it would be really cool. Because like you have the grossness with Nurgle, you have the Tzeentchian sorceress vibes with Thousand Suns. And then even the closest thing, I guess, would be, what are they called? Night Lords. Mm-hmm. Like if you gave Abaddon and the Black Legion not a generic like chaos thing, but like more of a like grim, dark. I was gonna say skulls, but Korn kind of already does that, right? I don't know. It's hard.
Yeah, definitely something to like differentiate him because he just looks very like blah.
Yeah.
Generic is a good word.
Yeah. But anyways, those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Again, blessed Sanguinala. I hope you guys are enjoying the holidays with your family and friends. Ask us about anything you want, Space Marine, Blood Angels, or Sanguinius related, or anything else. And we'll talk tomorrow.
That's right. Keep those questions coming, and we'll keep on giving you answers. Again, blessed Sanguinala. And as always, it's been the Sound Alchemist here with
Gershwan.
And we are out of here.
Always used to put my freedom first in any situation.